Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I finally have the update for my A Pan Has No Name, which is a new project that I created. If you have not seen the intro, I will link it in the cards and down below, and I will explain what it is. It is loosely based off of Game of Thrones, hence the name. I'm doing 7 eyeshadows. Literally in the intro I had no idea what I wanted to do. I'm giving everyone free hand to do this project however they want to do, but it is essentially targeted towards eyeshadows in your collection or products in your collection that don't have names, because there's the A to Z beauty project where people pan products for every letter of the alphabet. Why is that so hard? And I've done an all eyeshadow version. I've seen multiple people do it this year again, and I have some eyeshadows in my collection that don't have names, so it's like they're getting left out. So I created this project. Last month I rolled in 7 eyeshadows because there are 7 kingdoms in Game of Thrones. I just decided to do it that way. I had not really any rules. I was planning on hitting pan, but I've come to the realization that this project was kind of pushed to the back burner, and maybe if I change it up a little bit, it will work a little bit better and it will be more exciting to update you on. So we're just gonna see, okay? So I have multiple palettes with eyeshadows that have no names, but I rolled all eyeshadows out of my Revolution Shrek palette, which as you can see is a ginormous palette. This has 30 eyeshadows in there. This is what it looks like. So I rolled 7 eyeshadows out of here. I found that it was quite difficult to use them because I have a nice little tracker app that I use, but it just has numbers, so I kept forgetting what number corresponded to what eyeshadow, and I wasn't really reminded of using the eyeshadow. If I have my eyeshadows in there with the names, I usually remember, oh, that's an orange or that's a pink or something, and I can incorporate them easily into my looks, and I just did not have it with this because they only have numbers. Also the numbers, I was like tallying for some of the numbers, and then I was like, wait, is it actually that number? Or so I feel like in my tracking I should write down what color it is and then the number, but that's something for next time. Yeah, let's just get into all of the eyeshadows that I was working on and how many times I've used them and what the next step is. So the first shadow that I was working on was the first shadow in the palette, number 1, which is right here. This is a shimmery nude color, so I thought I could use that to set my eyeshadow base. It's too shimmery for that. It's literally, it's like the what is that, like a 90s frosty lip gloss, you remember that? That's what this looks like, genuinely. So no, not a great lid setting shade. You can see the dip in the shadow. So I have been using it. I have used it 13 times. I think I'm gonna let this stay in because I feel like I could definitely hit pan in that. It just might take a little bit longer, but that's fine. Then I was working on 12, and 12 was the pink. I'm gonna hold it upside down now. The pink right here. I did not touch that. That actually could be a nice highlighting shade, but I think for this one I'm just gonna roll it out. I want to kind of start fresh because it has proven to not really work for me. So I'm rolling it out for now, and we will see what I do next. So no uses on that. Then I rolled in shade number 14, which is this blue right here. And I'm hoping you can tell, but I have hit pan. I feel like some of the eyeshadow has fallen back into the little crevice. But I did manage to hit pan. I used this shade 7 times. I want to say mainly, I only used it as a lower lash line color. It actually worked pretty well together with the light blue shade that is in my Level Up palette at this moment. I will link that video too if you want to check that out. So yeah, I was able to use it 7 times and hit pan. Then I was working on shade number 18, which is right here, which is just a white inner corner highlight. I'm actually wearing that right now on my inner corners on top of the white base. I use this 9 times. I had a similar eyeshadow in my Project Level Up palette, so I had to kind of switch between the two, but still 9 uses is pretty good. And I think I'm also gonna keep this in because I feel like I could hit pan on that hopefully next update. Then I was working on 23, and number 23 is this one. I used that once. I used it once, I didn't love it. I'm gonna roll it out. Like I said, I have to do things differently. It looked like something that was in my Panda palette, or that was kind of clashing with it, so I didn't use it a whole lot. I used it once. Then number 25 was in. I also did not touch this. However, I feel like I could use it. I just completely forgot that this was in. Again, I'm gonna write them down differently so I remember the colors, and when I see that on my list, I know that I could maybe use it with a look that I have in mind for that day. So we're gonna keep that in. And then last, I was working on shade number 28, which is this one. And again, this was quite similar to the gold that was in my Panda palette. I'm gonna roll that out. I used it once. You can see where I dipped my brush, but I'm just focusing on the shadows in my Panda palette, and this was not working with it. This was working against it. So it is a mess. It is a mess. I am gonna roll out number 28, 23, and 12, regardless of not hitting pan. Then I'm rolling out 14 because I did hit pan. So we're rolling in 1, 2, 3, 4 new eyeshadows. And I'm this time gonna check if they will not work against anything else that I'm working on. So hopefully next time I will be having better progress and more fun using these eyeshadows and not feeling like it's a burden. I have all of them in this wheel. I'm gonna spin 4 times. Oh my goodness, you cannot see. I'm just gonna show this as proof that I'm rolling. Number 5 from Revolution Elf. We're just gonna spin, and I hopefully won't have to re-roll a whole bunch of times. Number 5 from Soft Radiance. I feel like that could be tricky, because that palette looks a lot like my Panda palette. Number 4 from Revolution Elf, and this number 4 from the Glamlight Ruffo Raggy palette, which is actually what I'm wearing today. I have filmed a first impressions that is not up yet. I will hopefully have that up soon, but I've used that palette. So I'm excited to see what shade that is. I'm gonna check all my shades out and be right back. Okay, I have to re-roll for 2 of them. Because one is a weird pressed glittery, very scratchy shade that I don't want to work on. So I'm gonna remove that from the wheel too. And one is too similar to my Panda palette. So we're gonna roll 2 more. Number 3 and number 7. Okay, I rolled in number 5 from my Revolution Elf palette, which is right here, a matte soft blue. This is the glitter that I rolled in, that I re-rolled for, because this is a weird shade. So we're working on that. And then I rolled all shadows from this Glamlight palette, the Scooby-Doo one, that I'm actually also all wearing today. All the shades I rolled, I wear today. So I'm quite happy. I rolled number 3 and 4, which is the light green shimmer and the darker green shimmer. And then I rolled 7, which is this dusty blue one. So I'm excited to work on these. This is the color story that I have right now. This is from the Shrek palette, the first one, first shadow. Shadow number 18, the white shimmer, the darker slate blue. This is the matte blue from the Elf palette, the light green and the dark green from the Scooby-Doo palette, and then the matte blue. I do, however, think that I'm gonna put a 15 use goal on these eyeshadows because I don't know if I feel comfortable hitting pan on this palette already because it's quite new, if that makes sense. That weird. And I feel like that way I could keep a little bit more momentum and have shades rolling in every update. So I think we're gonna do that. Of course, I would love to hit pan in all of these shadows, so I could always keep them in for longer if I want to, but if I don't, 15 uses, I can roll them out. So this is the new color story. I'm quite excited for this. This looks cool, and I'm also happy that I get to play more with this palette, and I'm happy that I already filmed my first impressions for this palette, and it turned out great. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this update, even though it's a little bit messy. I hope that this is gonna help streamline the project. If you want to join, feel free to do so. Feel free to do it however you like it. Let me know if you join, because I would love to see your take on it. And yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!